Streaming. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Kelly Rose. I was not planning on streaming here today, but we do have a tornado emergency for Essex. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now if you are in Essex. This is a tornado emergency for Essex, Iowa. Wow. Again, if you are in Essex, this is a violent tornado. There are twins on the ground, and this is extremely, extremely violent, guys. You guys need to be in your trail safe place. This is a storm chaser confirmed tornado. We're getting this onto X and things like that. We were just about to go live when the story was issued. Tornado emergency for Essex, Iowa. So, again, we're seeing about 114 on top of 36. That's about 140, 150. Wow. So, and this going right into the town of Essex. The National Weather Service deems this strong enough to issue a tornado emergency, which is the highest level of warning by the National Weather Service. There is apparently twins. Not exactly sure. I mean, Reed Timmer has a good view of it. It looks like twins, but from velocity, it doesn't really match up. Alright, let's go ahead and go downstream. This is going to be out the warning in about 20 minutes. Heat burn, you need to start preparing now. Clarinda, Newmarket, Gravity, you guys need to start preparing now. If this continues, which I want to see the environment before I talk anymore about if it'll continue. Oh, I gotta remove that. If it continues, it's heading right for you guys. SPC meso-analysis. Yes. Change sector. There. I don't think it's going to continue past gravity. The environment tops out in this area, so this is its best chance, in my opinion. Here, so we look at 3 Cape, which I'll show this on screen right now. We're looking at this area here, and it's a lot lower in these values. And so, wow. But you still have the value there to see a strong tornado. It's just going to taper off once you get into heat burn. So, this will extend. I think a new warning will be issued. This tornado emergency does continue for the until 9:15, so about I can't do conversions right now. I'm tired. 17 minutes. Okay. 17 minutes here, and I do think in about 15 we'll see that tornado warning extend for areas like Heatburn, Clarinda, Newmarket, Gravity, up towards Sharpsburg. With this National Weather Service, they don't play. They issue warnings with a lot of lead time. We're going to brighten that up. Oh, there's a little flaw. Okay. Let me pull up one graphic here while we wait on a new scan. I am getting delayed scans apparently. Oh, we're back to normal. That's good. I do think the tornado is weakening. Kind of based off of some images here. I have yet to post this on any other social media platform. I don't care. This is a tornado emergency. I do think that the tornado is weakening, which is really good news. Now, I want to check its environment. Place file manager. I turned this off because I was chasing a QLCS tornado after all of our streaming. It's got 24,000 cape, 2,400 cape, excuse me. 64.8 knot shear. That's insane. Debris is being lofted over 5,000 feet. Let's see here. The highest debris I'm seeing is about 7,000 feet, which is good news. Are there any closer radars to this? No. Okay. We're looking at about 5,000 feet on our lowest tilt, so. That gives me a lot of confidence that, hey, this is still going to be a strong tornado, but it's not going to be too violent. From what we saw April 2nd, Selmer or Lake City. It's not going to be that magnitude, but you want to treat it as that. We also have a tornado warning for Cass County. This does include Lyman and West Cumberland. Donut hole on radar. That's fun. Ghost train is about 95 miles per hour. Ooh, that would not be fun to try that one. Alright. We do have spotter reports. This was as of 2 minutes ago. Yeah, 2 minutes ago. Snapped power poles, trees down, shed material strewn over roadway. This is from Sean Wagon. This was as of 9 p.m. or 02 UTC. And we're back. Insane signature showing up here on velocity. What's new? Yeah. Those are a little bit delayed. Alright, let's try to focus on getting... radar only, please. Thank you. Yeah, that's concerning. Sorry I didn't get to your chat in time. Right now, chat is kind of a third off thing at this point with the magnitude of this tornado. We have downgraded, thankfully, to a particularly dangerous situation. We are no longer at tornado emergency. We are going to keep streaming here because this is still a strong tornado. Alright, let's switch back. We're going to see some outdated graphics. Give me 1 second while I fix this. I was really not planning on streaming today, since I'm gearing up for a storm chase tomorrow. But Essex really dodged a bullet here. I do think that tornado did change track in time. The hodographs support deviant motion tornadoes, but, you know, that insane. Image. Yeah. Browse. So we are keeping at particularly dangerous situation. Okay. Okay, I know what I know the graphic I'm looking for. I just don't remember the graphic I'm looking for. I don't know what I have it named as. SVRC Cove. Okay. That gives me a little bit of hope that I know what I'm doing with my life. Damn it. Obviously I don't. Dub. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already had a graph set up for this. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's, no, not that one. That's bomb cyclone coverage. It's definitely not what we're covering here. Alright, there we go. We got the new graphic on. Perfect. Sorry, again, this is alright, we gotta change the title too. Tornado emergency coverage. I honestly, Oklahoma coverage 4/17/25. Okay. This is truly emergency coverage. I wasn't going to be live today. Where I live, I'll say that. That's where I'll be chasing. Again, particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning remains in effect until 9:15. I think. Yeah, 9:15. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 3 miles northeast of Essex or 10 miles south of Red Oak. I want to go ahead and change storm motion. Yeah, that transpires. Heat burn. This is going to be crossing US 71 in about 24 minutes. Heat burn. You guys need to be ready right now. Now is your time to prepare. I'm going to call you guys out until it's past you guys. Then I'll say clear. But, heat burn. All the way Sharpsburg, Lennox. You guys also need to be preparing now. If this continues, and it's occluding. Yeah, it's occluding. Certainly good news. Alright, I'll kind of show you guys what I mean here. When we talk occlusions, tornadoes usually die in occlusions. You can have failed occlusions, but that's a whole different topic that we're not going to get into right now. What an occlusion is a storm bringing the hook into the storm. And it is noted here, let me pull up dual view. We can see a well-announced hook here, and watch how we start seeing it move more northeast into the storm. And watch velocity, which is on your right here, which is your right graphic. Left is reflectivity. Watch how it starts tracking northeast as well. So it's occluding. And right in this area, just east of heat burn, I do think that's where your next rotation develops here. And that could produce. I'm not liking the environment, though. I don't like the environment it's in. Which is good news. From a chaser perspective, yeah, we want a tornado, but over these populated areas, we don't want that. And that's where we're looking at heat burn. It may not be that populated, but still, you're going to have people impacted by this storm. And this is a strong tornado. There you go. Heat burn, Villisca. You guys are now under a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning. Take your tornado precautions right now. Don't wait till you see a tornado. It's extremely difficult to see at night, and it is also going to be rain wrapped now. Whew, boy. I need water, but right now I can't get water. This is still an strong tornado, even though it's occluding. You can see strong tornadoes through occlusion as well, and that's what we're seeing here. Current time is 9:10. Oh, that velocity. That velocity is, wow. A scary velocity. 105 on top of 62. That's 170, guys. Wow. That is a really scary signature that we are looking at right now. Really, really, really scary. I don't think it's done. I don't even know if our stream is performing well right now. I gotta get rid of that graphic. You're going to see inconsistencies. This is still a violent tornado. This is on Reed Timmer stream. Wow. I think we go back to tornado emergency. I do. I want to see another signature here, but wow. That is some of the most concerning view I have seen thus far. Reed Timmer has a violent tornado just shrieking. You hear behind me is wind. Don't worry about it. We're awaiting a new velocity scan, which should be in about 20 seconds. This will confirm what I'm thinking. Yeah, there you go. This is going to be 96 on top of 61. That's going to be... about 150, 160. So again, this is still a strong, if not violent, tornado. It is a wedge. That's on Reed Timmer stream. I'm going to turn on Spotter Network really quickly. I have a thought here. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. I'm pretty sure someone got lofted from the tornado on Spotter Network. Ooh, hey, my friend, no idea when I'm ending. That is a lot of storm chasers, though. This is a strong tornado. Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of streaming 5%, I have a feeling. This is no longer twins. This is still a strong tornado. Spotter network is insane right now. This is again, a strong tornado. There you go. Essex, you can come out of your transit place. Coburg, you guys as well, come out of your transit place. You guys are 1 out of the tornado warning 2. Your tornadic rotation has passed. This is right here where your tornadic rotation is. This is currently along the county lines of Montgomery and Page counties. We're going to full screen onto one. This is a former tornado producer, so we're watching this one with intense view. But my focus is on this area here. As this area right here, you got your greens moving towards, tans, reds moving away. Right there's your tornadic rotation. It's strong rotation at that. This is those signatures you see with the stronger EF2, EF3 tornadoes. You guys go back, look, April 2nd, Lake City, Claremore, May 25th, 2024. Trying to think. You can go back and you're gonna see a lot, and I mean a lot of views from these violent tornadoes. And they look like strong, not violent. I do not think this is violent. You'll see that same view. I think it's going to try to occlude again. That's my personal thought here. I think it's going to try to occlude at any point here. It's going to occlude. I do have that feeling. We're staying straight. This will take it in between Heatburn and Villisca. Alright, I'm calling some more names. Nordaway, Brooks, Corning, Kent, Clearfield, Sharpsburg, Gravity. This is also heading towards you guys. Ultimate Sports Network. This is heading towards you guys. Lenox. This is right up in that area. If it doesn't include, this is going to try to make its way towards you guys. I don't think it will survive past this area here. This area really doesn't have good tornado potential. I have also seen storms just absolutely don't care about their environment. Duke, Oklahoma, for example. That's not a good example, but you get the point. That one was a highly deviant tornado. You're not seeing a lot of debris. You're doing all 3 days. Hey, that's nice. You're not seeing a lot of debris because there is no debris. This is Iowa. Corn. Corn, and a lot of corn. So you're not going to see that much debris on CC unless it's hitting buildings. And there's a few buildings right in its path in between Heatburn and Villisca. But, wait. Oh, that's a hail spike, I think. Yeah, oh. Well, that's good. We have finally downgraded to a regular tornado warning. There you go, Lenox, Sharpsburg, Corning, Prescott. You guys are now under a tornado warning. At 9:17, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Heatburn, or 13 miles southwest of Corning, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Hail up to 2 inches and tornado. This is radar indicated rotation. Oh yeah, that just died really quickly. Really quickly. Yeah, I think it's dying now. You can still see we have supercell characteristics in here. So I mean, it's not fully over. I do think you're going to see more of a hail threat from it crossing into the Adams and Taylor counties. Is going to parallel the county line almost. You're going to see some wobbles. It can go south, it can go north a little bit, and it can include go northeast and then die. We're hoping that this just does not survive much longer here. So, thankfully, we do have enough confidence to say it's not on the ground. Some of the velocity scans kind of make me doubt what I'm seeing, but you get one more of these weak scans and, you know, we're good. You're trying to make a graphic, but you have no idea. I use Paint 3D for all my graphics, except ones I get straight from the National Weather Service, like these warnings. Alright, let's wait on another scan, which should be coming in a... yeah, right about now. I'm not going to be live streaming a lot today. My voice, yeah, it's dead. It is dead. I'm not trying to stream past 10 o'clock my time. I don't feel good. I'm just recovering from the biggest cold of my life, and I do think we're starting to see a hooking feature right here. While we're at this stage, I'm going to go get some water. Again, this was an emergency stream, not really prepared to stream, so I'll be right back. Sorry about that. That took a little longer than expected. I'm really starting to look at the possibility of this starting to gain its strength over here. So, wow. Your main rotation has died. We're in a range folding spot. This is where it gets dangerous. We're looking more 7,000 feet in the air. 7,000 feet is not a good spot to look. You're looking at your mid-levels, honestly. Echo tops are probably screaming about 40. Yeah, 43. 45. That makes a lot of sense. You're looking at the lower level. However, we want to be looking about 200 to 5,000 feet is preferred to see some of the better things, but we still see a lot of features, and usually what happens, it'll be up here, it will wind down here. There's saying what comes up must come down, so, and that, I've seen that in action a lot of times while watching tornadoes. You look up, there's strong rotation, but low level, weak as can be. 20 minutes later, you're dropping one of the strongest tornadoes you've watched. Lake City, for example. So again, Nordway, you guys are also under this warning. Villisca and Heatburn, you guys come out of your tornado site place. This is past you. There is no tornado threat for you guys at this time. I'd still watch out. But your tornado threat, your tornadic rotation just died. Like, it's no longer there. And these are our only warnings here. You have these two considerable severe thunderstorm warnings, these two tornado warnings, and these two severe thunderstorm warnings. So that's good news. Today's only a 5% day, which is really why we weren't live. And plus me gearing up for a storm chase tomorrow, so. If you guys got any questions, drop them down. You're working on a slide while listening to you. Alright, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Your hail has definitely decreased. Let me get like a view. This is the storm itself. I've been tracking these for a long time. It honestly, that's where it should have been emergency. And it continued just to produce some very strong couplets. And that's where we're seeing the remaining rotation that's just dying. It's sucked into the storm, not getting good moisture anymore because your inflow is blocked. Hence, tornado genesis is really not happening right now. There's another report here. Pulse snap tree. Oh, that's literally just that report. This is as of a minute ago. Multiple trees down along 410, which large tree limbs and sections of trees on the road. Road is passable, likely tornado damage path based on nearby reports. So it was kind of based off that. Somewhere like that, right there. That was as of a minute ago. Yeah, that makes sense. Particularly dangerous. Radar indicated rotation. Okay. So this tornado warning here, this is one of those PDS warnings. You only have another 300 to 500 in 6 days. That's a lot. I don't usually show these texts, but I'm going to show it here. Notice how we have radar indicated rotation, but again, particularly dangerous situation, large, extremely dangerous tornado is located. So here's what's happening. They believe that this is going to drop a very strong tornado soon. And I can see why they're thinking this. The environment is still good for this. Only for a little bit. Once you get past the areas I was mentioning earlier, tornado genesis isn't likely past that. If a tornado, or other severe weather for that matter, is spotted, report it to the National Weather Service or call 911. If you have pea-sized hail, don't call 911. But if you have a tornado, yeah, call 911. 60-mile-per-hour wind, I wouldn't call 911 for. But if you're looking at a tornado, yeah, that's something that 911 would be called for. Just kind of read that off. I'm going to move the graphic back over here. This PDS does still go until 10 p.m. So for the next 30 minutes. Why do both of those go until 10? Villisca. It's a little bit of rotation right over you. I'm not too worried about it at this point. There's just a little bit. Heat burn, you guys are fine to come out of your tornado safe place. You guys are, your tornado threat is over for the time being. Most likely all day. These are your only storms here, and once these pass you, you know, your tornado threat's really low. So, I do have suspicion this is on the ground. No. I changed that. Yeah, there's too much ZDR for it to be on the ground. ZDR is precipitation. So what we look at in ZDR is, I personally use it for updraft intensity. So when you have a very, very strong updraft, or in this case, or a tornado, you're going to see these values like this here. How those are low. But when you're seeing these reds, you've got a lot of precipitation falling. I use it to see how strong a tornado may be. As well as like a ton of other products. This is spectrum width. This measures turbulence in the air. We look for a lot of, let me rephrase this. You guys think of You guys think of turbulence as maybe airplane turbulence. Your plane kind of shakes, things like that. That's what we're looking for in the atmosphere. Is there a lot of motion in the atmosphere that would cause turbulence? And so that's spectrum width. And that is a very good product to see what type of disturbance is there. This is maximum expected hail size. Mess. I call it mesh. You're seeing about 2-inch hail. Echo tops. Oh, we're shot over 50,000. Woo. At that. Wow. That is an insane storm. That's 50,000 right there. Again, this is the tornado track. This has been tracking since Plattsmouth, which was my tornado target contest target. So, I mean, tornado target contest target. So, this is the path of it. I want to zoom in on this area here. You see it has a hook. It's got a very well-defined hook here. And it rips through that area. And now the hook. Starting to see one form right there, in my opinion. And so again, particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning ongoing. Oh, wrong graphic. I am so sorry about that. This is still an ongoing threat here. I just don't think that this is going to drop yet. But still, listen to what the National Weather Service says. The National Weather Service is more experienced than me. No hate towards National Weather Service whatsoever. Just from what I'm seeing, I don't think a tornado is imminent. But you still have strong rotation to where that warning still needs to be in place. I just do not think it should be PDS. Is what I'm getting at. I don't think a strong tornado is imminent. You've got really strong rotation though. But we're looking up almost 7,700 feet, 7,700. And that, I want to see what's happening at like 3,000, 2,000, 4,000 or 5,000 would even do good. And just like that, your main area, which I was thinking about, still rotating, weakened. That's what we're talking about at this point. Why is my prob objects not updating? Not enough points for line command. Okay, I'm gonna have to update that source. I have to go through and edit the code whenever I can, so we'll just take it off screen for now until it fixes. Until it either fixes itself or I can go in and fix it. I don't have school tomorrow, so if we have to go past 11, we're going past 11. It's still a little bit of rotation. I think this is about to transition to a hail threat. We're now looking at about 2.4 inch hail. That is truly insane. Hoping to get one of my first hail intercepts tomorrow, so I know exactly what's happening here. That is not tornadic, I do believe. I believe that's a hail spike. This is a hail spike. This is not a... Yeah, see it now? Yeah, that's a hail spike. I kind of thought so. Both of those are hail spikes. You're seeing such large hail that correlation coefficient is picking up on it and it's traveling through, and so you're seeing these CC drops that some people may take as a tornado, especially if they don't know what a hail spike is. They're gonna say that's a tornado. I've done that before. That was actually 2022, the tornado emergency for Jonesboro, Arkansas, that had no tornado. Like, it had no tornado, but it was tornado emergency. You had some strong rotation. Now that I look back at it, if I knew what I knew now, I probably wouldn't have said it was a tornado. But you live and you learn. So your tornadic rotation right here. Now this may be different rotation. Some of you guys may be used to reds and greens touching together. Like right here. So there's two tornadic rotations. I kind of skipped over that. Usually when you see your darker green on your brighter green, that's an indication of rotation. That's more common in base velocity, which I'm using storm relative velocity. Base velocity is looking from the base, so the radar. Storm relative velocity is looking from a view from the radar, taking into account the aliasing, storm motion, speed of the storm, things like that. It all takes into account. but you can still see it on storm relative velocity. And that is the difference between this and this. You still see your reds in the same, mostly the same spot. This is not taking into account storm motion, so you're seeing a lot of these reds moving away, but a lot of these screens are actually moving towards. But factor in storm motion, you're not going to see, but without factoring storm motion, it looks like it's all moving away from the radar. So, that's your track rotation at this time. And I know some of you may be saying, it doesn't match up with reflectivity. We're looking 8,000 feet in the air. Your updraft, some updrafts, are tilted. So you'll see like your tornadic debris here, but if you're looking 8,000 feet, you may be seeing your rotation here. And that's kind of what I'm thinking is happening. Nordaway, I don't want you to stay in your safe place because of the tornado at this point. Your tornadic threat is over. It's the hail that I'm looking at. And we are up to 3-inch hail. Radar is indicating 3.12 inch hail. That is over baseball-sized hail. I think 2.75 is golf ball. Hail size. Large apple-sized hail. Okay, we'll use that because that's all I can find. I don't exactly know what's like 3 inches, so some strong wind. I did not mean to play that. That is my bad, everyone. I do think they downgrade. You are seeing a donut hole, so that does show that this updraft is very intense. That it's just dispersing a lot of water. It's back! And it agrees with me. Earlier we were saying about 97 prob torr. Now we're looking at 3%, and it agrees with me. Mixed layer CAPE is at 1300 or 1300. Your shear is still at 64.7, which is still insane, don't get me wrong. Precipitatable water is what I was interested in, and that's at 1.4. So, I do not think we should continue the PD. That they should continue the PDS. But National Weather Service knows more than I do, so I'm not clowning on them in any way. This is just kind of what I'm observing from radar. Also, we need like another radar. Like here. Like desperately need one right here. Near Centerville. This is a radar hole I hate, and this is right in where we see a lot of tornadoes. So, that's kind of an issue we're looking at, as well as by the time we get to Linux, Lennox, we're looking at 9,000 feet in there. After that, I start kind of doubting some things. And with how weak the rotation is at this high, as it transpires down, I do think we see things taper down and your tornado threat really, really die. I don't think your tornado threat will survive much past OCO1. Winter set, I don't think you see that tornado threat persist that far. I do think the furthest it will go is Decatur and Clark counties. But I have my doubts on it even reaching there without dying and just going massive hail. And shear is there. 3 Cape is not. 3 Cape is surface to 3 kilometer Cape. That's where we look at surface-based storms. So anything greater than 50, 3 Cape is usually pretty good at tornado genesis. But when you have less than 50, 3 Cape, as I was saying, they did it finally. I'm gonna get a climatology right there. Your 3 Cape has mixed layer Cape is dying at 1,000 joules per kilogram now. Surface-based Cape is at 879. Mixed layer is at 1022. I think your 3 Cape's low. So this is kind of what RAP weather model is showing. This is SPC. My phone just died. Yeah, that would probably help if I was looking at the right chart. Oof. I oofed on that one. Yeah, 1,500. Okay. Lifted index of negative 4.1. Ugh. And so this is kind of what I'm looking at. Your red is 3 Cape, blue is vorticity, and we're really exiting that area favorable. That is exactly why I do not think your tornado threat's going to persist past top of the hour at least. Maybe. Just maybe to the top of the hour. This is vertically so this measures water contents, things like that. I'm not exactly sure how to use this product. I'm still learning. But wow, this is truly insane. I do not think your tornado threat persists much further. We are seeing some tightening though, back in rotation, right there. Or broadening, whatever. Which is certainly good news here. House destroyed, occupants all right. That's good. I think it's about to put down. Yeah, I've got some questions out today. Did what today has done. I really do have those questions. I have those questions today. I did not think supported strong tornadoes. But you get that every now and then. You get that 5% tornado wonder from the SPC. Last one was April 19th, 2023. Up until now. This will take over that. April 19th was the cold tornado. Which I have files of that cold tornado like no other. I have done so much studying on that tornado. So. Kent. Alright, let's start calling out areas. Kent, Aspirin, Shannon City, Clearfield, Creston, Cromwell, Ofton. As a RESP, you guys need to be preparing now. This is your time. If you don't have a tornado safe place, start figuring it out. Innermost center part of your house in a sturdy building or underground. I don't mean to sound sarcastic, because I know I sound like that. It has been a very long day. Very, very long day. And so, if I sound sarcastic, I'm not trying to. It's now time for you guys to just prepare now. Okay, there we go. I'm so sorry about that. I meant to press my 9 key, which will kind of do some stuff for you guys, but if I have to manually load it, I will. I want to wait for one more velocity scan before I know what I'm doing. Yeah, it's dying. So, again, up towards Ofton, Mount Eyre, Creston, Kent, Clearfield, Diagonal, Shannon City, Tingley. I want to make sure I saw that right. A Risp. Forgive me if I am mispronouncing that. You guys have time to prepare now before the National Weather Service says severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning. I personally think it'll go tornado warned. I'm also having power issues at my house, so just so you guys are aware, I am having power issues right now. Before I went live, there was a fire that kind of runs along my power cables, and they're talking about possibly shutting off the power because the fire is getting too close to the lines. So if my power cuts off, I'm sorry. I do want to give that fair warning since I haven't been able to. I, again, don't think this tornado is going to survive much longer. It's not even a tornado. This will be looking up (9,000 feet right here, or 8,999 feet. So we're almost to that point where I won't be trusting much, because it is weakening, so that means I do think you see that weakening trend. So you have strong rotation up here, transpires down here, so you both have strong rotation. Then it starts getting weaker up here, it gets weaker down here. And then this one finally weakens enough to where it stops rotating. This one will soon hopefully follow. That's my experience watching this. Although, looking about 15,000 feet, you'll see a lot of rotation, so that is something to monitor. Very closely here. These are your only warnings right here. Greenfield up towards Earlham. You guys are under a severe thunderstorm warning, and then you have this tornado warning. These are your only 3 warnings. They are downgrading the warning. Tornado is possible. So that kind of tells me they're probably downgrading from tornado warning, which if that's the case, we're out of here. And then we'll be on standby as needed. I was going to go live on the Essex tornado warning, however, tornado emergency beat me to it. And at that point, you know, I couldn't get my water, I couldn't do anything. I just put my shirt on because I was on standby mode and did not think I was streaming today. So I do think they downgrade from tornado warning. Again, when we are live, we have a 2-minute period to where National Weather Service can issue a tornado warning. In that 2-minute period, that's why I stay. And they have canceled the tornado warning, so this is no longer tornado warned. This is, however, and I'm going to read this off. Tornado threat has diminished. Small hail is still possible with the storm. We're seeing a weakening trend with it. I'm going to show you guys this. when we had the strong violence in it, we had echo tops over 50,000 feet. The storm itself was over 50,000 feet. And they have finally canceled the tornado warning under the pretense that the tornado threat has diminished. Small hail is possible. Tornado watch until midnight. So, with that, I'm Kelly Rose. This was not meant to be a stream today. I was not expecting to be live just over an hour today. I'm having power issues where I'd kind of stay for a little bit. And we're down to one severe thunderstorm warning. Your storms are dying. They're moving out of the environment. That is conducive. I'm Kelly Rose signing off. You guys stay safe. We're on standby mode. I will not be streaming tomorrow. I am chasing tomorrow, so I'm not streaming. I don't want to stream to YouTube while chasing just yet. I want to get a little bit more experience before I do that. No more tornado warnings. I'll see you guys next time. We should have a stream. I don't know when, which is good. I will catch you guys later. Active start to your May, likely. Peace. Wait. New severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, I figured. This does include the town of Winterset. I remember Winterset because that was my first EF4 I ever tracked live. So that's kind of a town in my... Whoa, that hook echo. It's elevated though, so... not gonna worry about that. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.